quarterfinals, they're going to have to go up against a side who, like them, was participating in the Concacaf Champions League just a few months ago. Both teams ousted in the round of 16, and both sides looking to avoid a similar fate in the Concacaf League. Herediano travel down to El Salvador with their 1-0 lead. But as the Costa Rican newspapers made it very clear in the days leading up to this match that they know it is not going to be an easy task by any stretch of the imagination, as this Santa Tecla side has a number of players who can go forward with a lot of pace and a lot of efficiency heading into the final third. Both teams had league games at the weekend. For Santa Tecla, it was a 1-1 draw against Isidro Metapan. Torres had the goal in the 41st minute for Santa Tecla and for Christian Diaz's side, but then they would surrender the equalizer just a minute later in the 42nd. That would finish 1-1. And Santa Tecla off to a 1-1-0 start in the Primera Division. As for Herediano, in their domestic league, in their native country of Costa Rica, a 3-0 win over Santos de Guapiles. Reyes, Marin, and Ortiz with the goals in that affair. They're off to a 1-1-0 start as well. And the teams making their way out onto the field here at Estadio Cuscatlán. It's Santa Tecla of El Salvador playing host to Herediano of Costa Rica in the second leg here in the round of 16. Herediano in their classic red and yellow with their blue shorts and red socks. Santa Tecla of El Salvador in their vibrant, albeit sharp-looking, lime green and blue. It's a colorful affair. It should be an entertaining affair. Herediano with a 1-0 lead on aggregate thanks to Junior Diaz's goal in the 20th minute in the first leg. Herediano had a number of chances to add to that lead, but were squandered by Santa Tecla, who held well defensively. And a look at how Christian Diaz's side is going to line up here tonight. Jaime de la Pava's side. And it's going to be Joel Almeida at goal, Juan Barahona along the back line, Rodrigo Rivera, Gerson Mayan pulling the strings in the middle of the park. And Jairo Enriquez will be in the middle of the field as well, with Ricardino running the show. Up front for the Santa Tecla side, Hector Martinez, our referee, all Honduran refereeing crew. Honduras, well, they had a side named Olympia who hoisted the trophy at the end of this tournament and at the end of all the madness in 2017. FC Motagua, another Honduran side, moving on to the quarterfinals last night over the Belmopan Bandits. And here is how Jaime de la Pava's side of Herediano is going to line up. Morera in goal, and virtually the same exact lineup that we saw, with the exception of a couple of players. Leoton going to get the start. He's going to be wearing number 70, as well as Jose Ortiz. And Ortiz scoring one of the goals for Herediano at the weekend in their win over Santos de Guapiles, who's going to be taking on Portmore United in their second leg tomorrow night. As we are almost set for kickoff here at Estadio Cuscatlán in San Salvador, El Salvador. Referees just making sure everything's in order. And a look at the substitutes available for both coaches tonight. Yendrick Ruiz, Randall Azofeifa, two to keep an eye on, as well as Jairo Arrieta. He was one of the stars for Herediano last season and has obviously made an early impression here. He started in the first leg, coming off of the bench here in the second. Yendrick Ruiz was actually sent off in their weekend matchup against Santos. And for Santa Tecla, some good options in the form of Diego Chavez, who started in the first leg, as well as Andres Flores and Kevin Santamaria. Hector Ramirez the option in net. Should Almeida not be able to continue. Hector Martinez appears to be ready. We hope you are as well. Second leg of the round of 16 in the Scotiabank Concacaf League here in 2018 between Santa Tecla and Herediano. And it's officially underway from El Salvador. And there is a look at Junior Diaz, the lone goal scorer in this two-legged affair thus far in the 20th minute by way of a corner. It was a free header, and how on earth Santa Tecla let Junior Diaz slip in behind and unmarked the Costa Rican legend, we may never know. But what we do know is that he seized the opportunity, he seized the moment. Junior Diaz restarts quickly, a long-range effort straight into the hands of Almeida. It was a good try from Esteban Granados, the 32-year-old from Costa Rica. In his 7th season with Herediano, more than 270 appearances for the club. Santa Tecla on the move for the first time tonight. Ricardino trying to bully his way through. As we mentioned before, just one other game going on right now at the moment as Almeida has to come off of his line, and that match is in penalties between Walter Ferretti and Club Franciscan. And it finishes 4-1 in penalties to Walter Ferretti, the Nicaraguan side. So yet another team punches their ticket into the quarterfinals. Walter Ferretti took down the Belmopon Bandits in the round of 16 in 2017 and then eventually fell to Plaza Amador. Looking to go one step further in the 2018 campaign. This one lob forward, Ricardino. Able to latch onto it, showing good strength. Ricardino sends it across. And cut out by Kamer Brown. Santa Tecla looking to take advantage of the long throw-in. And it's going to come out the other way, says Hector Martinez, our referee for tonight. This Herediano side, as we've talked about before, very much pegged as the favorite, the front runner to win the 2018 Scotiabank Concacaf League. But the left side of the bracket, very much a daunting one. And it's FC Motagua on the right side of the bracket of this tournament that a lot of people think are going to go through to the final. But it's all speculation at the moment. So we played about 5 minutes here from Estadio Cuscatlán. No score between these two very dangerous sides, who continue to feel each other out in the opening moments. Santa Tecla on the move, broken up in the middle of the park by Granados. And the foul is going to be brought all the way back to midfield. Herediano with a 1-0 lead on aggregate. Junior Diaz, the goal scorer. And perhaps it could be enough to get Herediano through. As you get a look at some of the weather that we're facing at the moment. Here is Diaz. Ball sent the other way, but easy pickings for Morera. Pressure from Ricardino. Morera sends it the other way. Here's Pires. Tamakis. Had a strong first leg for Santa Tecla. We really didn't muster up too much in terms of threatening Herediano and scoring a goal of their own, but Jason Mayan and company in the middle of the field did what they could to prevent Herediano from making it more than just a one-goal affair when they returned home, as Junior Diaz does well. Keeps it for Herediano, and a free kick coming. And some of the Costa Rican newspapers saying that the biggest key for Herediano coming into this match is that they have to get the early goal and the first goal. There's a lot of people back in Costa Rica do not believe that the one goal will hold up or stand alone, that Santa Tecla do have enough firepower running the other way in order to get one. But if they can get one and get an away goal, it would prove to be vital. Herediano Campbell trying to win the header. They leave themselves exposed at the back. Good challenge from Edgar Lugo, the Mexican. Spinning out of trouble was Omar Arellano. Part of the small Mexican contingency for the Costa Rican side. Diaz. Granados. So you can hear the rain pelting down in San Salvador. In for Lugo. Numbers in the box for Herediano, but just two. Lugo gets it away towards the near post. And Almeida punches it straight up in the air and collects it for his own. Lugo very solid up top. Can hold up play, can drive at defenders 1v1. Quiñones. Lost it forward, came around. And Tamacas just sees it out of play, looking to restart quickly. You can see Junior Diaz facing up on Tamacas as he was taking the throw-in. Lugo has it taken away from behind. Mayan gets it off. It's a late challenge from Lugo. And Hector Martinez, the Honduran referee, does not like it. No cards to be had just yet. As Mayan slow to get to his feet. Wasn't a ton in it, but just the nature of the challenge. With the bottom of his cleat showing. Enough for Hector Martinez to blow the whistle and award a free kick. And Christian Diaz, the manager for Santa Tecla, not stymied by any means with the weather. Ruben Rivera. Not a bad ball in at all from Juan Barahona. He got the night off for Santa Tecla in their matchup in the Primera Division over the weekend against Isidro Metapan. Diaz. It's good defensive work thus far from Santa Tecla, bottling up this Costa Rican side. Jose Ortiz tracking it down. Good battle on the near side. Quiñones able to win the free kick. Ball lofted forward, intended for Tamacas, and just karate kicked away by Moreira. El Salvador inside, threatening. Torres stood up. La Union, 24 years of age. Rivera up for the header. Oh, it's nifty footwork along the touchline. Jose Leoton. Foul called against Tamacas. Just impeding the Herediano player on his way to try to recover the ball. Here's Almeida going the other way. Santa Tecla very direct in the opening moments. Defending from Ordain. Junior Diaz. Cleared away by Ordain. Jose Ortiz providing the pressure. Almeida. See, the surface is relatively slow here in Estadio Cuscatlán. Quiñones gets it away. Rivera. Well read by Junior Diaz. And the foul against Santa Tecla again. That's Tamakis once more time. And he needs to be careful. Into the path of Herediano. Quiñones is there. Quiñones wins it. Ricardino, a sharp eye kept on him. He's got more than 50 goals in a Santa Tecla uniform. Santa Tecla on the move. Sent across, Junior Diaz breaks it up. It's good movement from Wilma Torres. And it very much has been the home side, Santa Tecla on the front foot in the opening 15.5 minutes. Mayan gets the return. Threatening, here's Torres! It's in for Santa Tecla! They've equalized! It's 1-1 on aggregate! Santa Tecla have just been knocking on the door in the opening stages. It's not an across, it's great work from Mayan, it's great work from Ricardino, and then Torres, who had an opportunity just a few moments ago, makes the most of this one. It's a cool finish right off the woodwork. Nothing that Morera could do about it. And we officially have a contest on our hands, 1-1. Well, this was the worry for Herediano heading into this matchup, was if Santa Tecla could get the first one, then it would completely change the complex of this game. However, Herediano, if they are to get an away goal, would force a flat-out result out of the El Salvadoran side. We'll just have to wait and find out how this all unfolds. This had all the makings to be the best matchup in the round of 16 in this year's edition of the Scotiabank Concacaf League, and at the moment, it's living up to the billing. And Torres, who's been in excellent form for Santa Tecla as of late. He had the opening goal against Odaz in their opening game in the Primera Division in El Salvador, on way to a 3-0 result. Obviously didn't score at Herediano in the first leg in a 1-0 decision where Junior Diaz was the only one to find the back of the net. Scored over the weekend in a 1-1 draw with Isidro Metapan. And now here he is, continuing his scoring ways in Estadio Cuslacan. And Torres continues to get involved on the defensive side as well. Granados. How will Herediano respond? Credit Ricardino with the assist on the Wilma Torres goal. Jerson Mayan was the orchestrator leading up to it. into the 20th minute. Good challenge from Diaz, or so we thought. Free kick in favor of Santa Tecla. Torres being helped to his feet by Quiñones. Torres only standing at about 5'6", 5'7", maybe a little bit taller, going up against Junior Diaz, who stands at 6'3". Not exactly a fair fight, but Torres did well to hold his ground. And perhaps that's what Junior Diaz was complaining about with Hector Martinez, our referee, that what is he supposed to do? Obviously a massive height discrepancy. And you can see the ball trickling as players continue to try to move it on the deck. Salazar. There's a look at Christian Diaz, the manager for Santa Tecla, who took over only recently. Ruben de Silva was hired. He was in the midst of his first season and left just after a few months of accepting the post. On May 23rd, in steps Christian Diaz and thrown right into the fire of the Concacaf League. But he got his spark from Wilma Torres, and they're looking to keep the flame burning. And with the rain persistent here in San Salvador, play is starting to slow up a little bit, maybe get a little bit more sloppy. Baires. Herediano still trying to find their groove. Santa Tecla have been sharp defensively and efficient going the other way. Salazar just thumps it the other way. Rivera up for the header. Good ball over for Torres. Tamakis overlapping. It's through for Tamakis. His ball across, handled with initially Ricardino, putting on pressure, and called for the foul. Diaz. As you can see for Herediano, they've been able to get up into the middle third of the field, but whenever they cross that midfield line, Santa Tecla just seemed to have it figured out defensively, which is a far cry from what we saw a week ago back in Heredia. It's such a difference playing on the road compared to playing at home. I mean, it seems like an obvious statement, but you really start to get an understanding of why you need to play a two-legged format. You need to have a home and home for these teams because it's such a difference. Long throw comes in from Aguilar. Bent back in. Here's Lugo with the header. Quiñones couldn't get enough to it, and a corner kick coming up for Herediano. Excuse me, that was not Aguilar, but rather Leoton, the number 70, looking like a number 10. Aguilar not even rostered tonight. As the rain just continues to pour down, Junior Diaz again from the corner. And he was that close to making it 2. As it is just a torrential downpour at Estadio Cuscatlán. Long ball sent ahead again. Look at Morera off of his line. Rivera, oh, he's trying to get it out wide as quickly as possible. Good challenge from Herediano. He's floated over to this right-hand side, started out on the left. Lugo, trying to find his compatriot. Alan Cruz stopped in his tracks. And Herediano called for the foul. Well, and sometimes it can be tough to see the rain coming down just due to the camera angles, but for those of you listening, it seems pretty obvious, no? And with all of this precipitation, the bounce of the ball becomes less and less predictable, including the crispness of passes. They really need to be hit with a lot of pace just to get to the intended target on time and to be able to go the other way. Herediano. Ortiz pushed off the ball, it stays with Lugo. Given away and just a flat out tackle. Christian Diaz looking for some form of card. And it appeared to be Granados who just ripped down Ricardino. Offside flag is up. And with Herediano playing such a high line, Morera's been forced to play that sweeper keeper role. Diaz, good ball in. The header didn't have enough steam on it. Here's Diaz once more, working on Tamakis. Somehow gets it away. And Leoton fouled, and fouled hard by Baires. And a yellow card for the center back out of La Paz, El Salvador. Good set piece opportunity coming up for Herediano. Kamer Brown, Junior Diaz, the intended targets. You have to imagine. Ball's kept low. And it'll come out the other way if foul is called. Players continue to argue with Hector Martinez. Baires with the own yellow card of this matchup so far. Wilma Torres with the only goal. Came in the 16th minute of play. And Diaz fouled from behind by Ricardino. Header won by Quinones. Torres did well just to get it away, but it's Cruz who comes away with it. Rivera and Cruz get tied up. It falls for Santa Tecla. Long-range effort. Wasn't a terrible idea from Enriquez. Herediano got tied up with the Rivera. Santa Tecla come away with it again. Rivera. Cameron Brown. You can see every defender for Herediano and for Santa Tecla for that matter being extremely careful and conservative when put under duress. Just due to the nature of the field right now, the way that the ball is moving and just the uncertainty that comes along with all of this precipitation. Quinones. Moreira off of his line again. How many times has he done that already? We're only 33 minutes in, but Moreira at least 4 times now. He's come sprinting off of his line to save the day for the Herediano back line, who just continue to insist to play extremely high. Tamakis getting on the end of this one. Sends it across. The shot by Torres. Parried away. Blocked in front. And it's in again. Ricardino. Santa Tecla with a lead in the 34th minute. And it's their main man, their veteran, their leader, Ricardino. 2-1 on aggregate. Well, it's a sensual celebration. And why not? It was a sensual finish. The initial save from Moreira is excellent, and then Ricardino knocks it straight into the ground. It takes a deflection and nestles right into that far post. It's Torres again who's involved. You see the deflection there for Ordain. And Cameron Brown trying to do everything he can to prevent the ball from going in the back of the net. Ends up helping it along. Ricardino finally gets his goal. We were waiting when he was going to arrive in this tournament. Well, the Brazilian is here. How many people could have pictured this? Santa Tecla, in the first half no less, scored 2 goals and have a 2-1 lead over Herediano, who just seem all out of sorts at the moment. What a response from Santa Tecla. Ricardino called for the foul. It's about the second time he's done that to Junior Diaz, almost in identical fashion. Herediano continue to try to work this left-hand side, which, in all fairness, they did have an enormous amount of success going down in the first leg. But here in the second leg, Santa Tecla have really tightened things up and put a lockdown on Junior Diaz and company. Diaz. And the Santa Tecla keeper, Almeida. Just daring an Herediano player to come and put pressure on him. It looks like we're already having a substitute getting ready to come on, and it's Yendrick Ruiz. Veteran out of San Jose, Costa Rica, who has 9 Champions League goals to his name, playing in his first ever Concacaf League game, and he is a normal starter for this Herediano club. And it seems like Jaime de la Pava has had enough. Herediano looking for it again. Rivera clears it away. Santa Tecla on the move again. Torres trying to get it back for Baires. Collision in the middle of the park. Hector Martinez calls it in favor of Santa Tecla. And on comes Yendrick Ruiz. So a big switch here for Jaime de la Pava. In just the 38th minute. Mayan and Rivera discussing who's going to take it. They elect to go short. Baires lofts it in. Herediano. Mayan gets a touch to it. Lugo keeps it. Leoton was the one who came out for Yendrick Ruiz. And Leoton, who wasn't even on the 18-man roster back in the first leg, just gets about a little more than a half an hour run-in for his manager, Jaime de la Pava. From Colombia, decides that he wants to go with the veteran and somebody who's a bit more proven. Try to rescue the day for Herediano. An away goal, and it'll be Herediano going through. There's no chance of penalties now with the second goal being scored by Santa Tecla. 1-0 in favor of Santa Tecla was the only way that we would have gone to a penalty shootout. Diaz gets a touch to it. Ruiz back into the middle, and a good challenge. But a corner kick coming up for Herediano here in the 40th minute. Lofted in towards the back post, the header, it sneaks in, it's Yedrick Ruiz. The substitute in the first half off the bench and puts Herediano back up in front. It's 2-2 on aggregate, but at the moment it's the Costa Rican side going through. 3 goals in the first half, how good is this? Yedrick Ruiz just entered the game a few moments ago, and now here he is, making an immediate impact. Almeida got a punch to it, but couldn't keep it out. The fact that it was point blank and the pace from the header, too much to handle. And it's Herediano again connecting from a set piece, and Santa Tecla have to be scratching their heads as to what is going on these corner kicks. And while there are a couple of Santa Tecla players surrounding Ruiz, nobody has a firm body on him, and as a result, Herediano get their tally on the road and are going through to the quarterfinals at the moment. Lugo's pass escapes him. Kmar Brown got all ball there on Ricardino. And the fouls against Herediano. Ruben Rivera writhing around in pain. Hector Martinez with some things to sort out. And it's going to be a yellow card for Omar Herediano. I think that the Herediano players feared the worst, that it was going to be a different color, a little bit more similar to the ones that they're wearing tonight. Well, I guess that doesn't make complete sense because they are wearing yellow tonight as well. I was referring to the color red, but after second thought, seemed a bit too vague. Ortiz giving chase. Almeida gets rid of it. And Ruiz taken down. Tamacas the foul. That's about his third one tonight. As we're approaching the halftime whistle, 3 goals. It's 2-2 on aggregate, but right now it's Herediano moving on, thanks to the most recent scoring development, courtesy of Yedrick Ruiz. Lugo. Closed off by Tamacas. And Ricardino fouled from behind by Brown. And it's starting to get chippy here. Santa Tecla realize that they need a goal now. Herediano doing everything they can to slow the game down and to just get into the dressing room with a 1-goal lead. Scuffed by Diaz, Torres. And Brown this time offering it up to Ricardino. He's called for the foul. And a set piece coming up for Santa Tecla. Set pieces, set pieces, set pieces. That's been the name of the game for Herediano, for Santa Tecla. Both of their goals came from the run of play. Can they convert from a dead ball now? We'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time here at Estadio Cuscatlán. Jerson Mayen comes out to Torres. It's a great hit. Morera comes away with it and sends it the other way. How good has Wilma Torres been over the past couple of weeks for Santa Tecla? Ordain. Cruz with some nifty footwork. That's Granados. And a foul from Herediano. He's already on a yellow card. He needs to be careful. The last thing Herediano would want is, at the moment, on their way to the quarterfinal and then having to play the second half down a man. We've had our 2 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. We're going to have one more play. Torres gets it across. And that's going to do it. 3 goals to be had in the first 45 minutes. Well, what can we take away? For me, Jaime de la Pava is a flat-out genius. After Santa Tecla scored 2 goals in the first half hour, he brings on Yendrick Ruiz, a wily veteran from San Jose, Costa Rica, who's made more than 175 appearances for the club, who comes on and scores one in the 41st minute to give Herediano the lead. It's 2-2 on aggregate, but it's Herediano moving through on away goals as it stands. We're heading to the halftime show. 2-1 in the second leg, 2-2 on aggregate to Herediano. Well, here's a look at the statistics from the first half. Santa Tecla with a slight edge in possession. Both keepers having to make some saves. Both teams putting pressure on one another. A couple of corners for Herediano, one of them resulting in a goal. No corners to be had for the El Salvadoran side, as corners continue to be the undoing of Christian Diaz's club. It was a corner kick that they conceded the goal to Herediano in the first leg, by the way, of Junior Diaz. Now here in the second leg, it's another corner kick, but this time it's Yendrick Ruiz. And we'll step aside for another few moments, and when we come back, we'll have highlights from the first half. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to San Salvador, where we'll take a look at how the first 45 minutes went down here at Estadio Cuscatlán. Herediano and Santa Tecla for a spot in the quarterfinals of this year's Scotiabank Concacaf League. And Herediano came into this match with a 1-0 lead on aggregate thanks to Junior Diaz's goal. And in the early going, Herediano looked to be the better side in possession at least, but we would soon come to learn that that possession would really be a facade, as Santa Tecla would look to be hunkered down defensively and space to play on the counterattack. And both teams having to deal with very difficult conditions. And then in the 16th minute, good play from Santa Tecla, and Wilmer Torres, who's been in excellent form as of late, finishes this one off. As the header sent across from Ordain finds the feet of the little striker, and he makes the most of the opportunity. It was sent forward by Mayan, putting the Herediano back line under pressure. And Torres, who has 2 goals in the last 3 games for Santa Tecla, continues his fine run of form. And then Junior Diaz, very similar to how he scored his goal in the first leg, almost scoring a second. But as you can see, Ruben Rivera much tighter defensively and did an excellent job of staying with the big outside back, who's made a number of caps for the national team. And then this would be the second goal. Ricardino takes a deflection off Ordain again, or rather it was Kamer Brown. And Ricardino, who scored double-digit goals for Santa Tecla a year ago, getting his first goal in the Scotiabank Concacaf League. And Santa Tecla would be off and running in the first half an hour by a score of 2-1 on aggregate. But don't think that the scoring would stop there, that the story would come to a conclusion in the first 45 minutes. Enter Yedrick Ruiz. Comes in for Leoton just a few minutes ago, and in the 41st minute, connects on a header that cannot be kept out by Almeida. 3 goals in the first half, 2 to Santa Tecla, 1 to Herediano, and it's the Costa Rican side who are standing firm and moving on to the quarterfinals at the moment. Yedrick Ruiz has 9 Champions League goals, getting his first CONCACAF League goal here tonight. as we'll step aside for another few moments. But when we come back, second half kickoff, folks, you're not going to want to miss it. ready to go for the second half here at Estadio Cuscatlán in El Salvador. Herediano, as it stands, going through on away goals. It's 2-2 on aggregate. Tyler Terrence, glad to have you on hand with us. And if the second half is any resemblance of the first, I have a feeling it'll just be a tad exciting. Here's Torres, responsible for one of the Santa Tecla goals. Brown gets a thigh to it and eventually cleared away by Salazar. And Hector Martinez, his first involvement of the second half, calling the foul in favor of Santa Tecla. Got off to a great start, but then Yendrik Ruiz comes on right around the 38th minute. And 3 minutes later, onto the score sheet. Sometimes that's how this sport goes, and Jaime de la Pava looked like an absolute genius in doing so. And a foul going the other way, this time in favor of Herediano. Really yet to see the best from Herediano, Lugo, and the rest of the front line for Herediano, with the exception of Yendrik Ruiz, who has one shot on the night, and it resulted in a goal. As some more substitutes get prepared for Jaime de la Pava. Junior Diaz can't keep it in play. Here's Herediano, great touch to bring it down. Skirts around the defender. Knocked over from behind by Rivera, and a set piece coming up for Herediano. Is there a card in store for the holding midfielder? Still waiting for a number of things to get sorted out by the referee, including the wall. And he's still not happy with the way that it's organized or the proximity to the ball. Should be pretty easy to just simply walk out 10 yards and draw the line down. Almeida getting things organized at the back for Santa Tecla. Junior Diaz standing on top of it. Free kick comes in, takes a deflection. And Almeida's claiming that it took a deflection off of a Herediano player. But Hector Martinez already pointed to the corner flag. It blatantly came off a Santa Tecla player, as Edgar Lugo lines up the corner. Slops it in towards the back post. And it's going to come out the other way. Yendrik Ruiz, who right now is saved the day for Herediano. Salazar just skies it. Rivera wins it. And it looks like for the most part the rain has stopped here in San Salvador. And another foul, this time it's against Quiñones. And that's a nasty challenge right at the end there. And this time a foul against Herediano, and this game really has no rhythm here in the second half. It's foul after foul after foul. And once the game becomes more physical, there's one thing that you can sort of decipher from it. That's that neither team is willing to give an inch or willing to let the other get into a rhythm that could perhaps see a goal. Because a goal for Herediano, and this is very much out of reach for Santa Tecla. And a goal for Santa Tecla obviously puts Herediano in another position that they would not want to be in, as it's another foul. Christian Diaz was doing his best to try to help out his side in terms of keeping the ball within proximity. It's one back by Herediano, and you guessed it, another foul. This one, it's on Edgar Lugo. Both teams are holding on to each other there. Well, another goal from Herediano, and it would need 2 from Santa Tecla in order to go through. Penalties is no longer an option. The only result in which it would have been was 1-0 in favor of Santa Tecla, which it was, to be fair, at one point, from the 16th minute until about the 34th. As Juan Barahona is shown a card. More physical play continues. And it's really put a damper on this second half. And has played into the favor of Herediano. Lugo. And it's going to go the other way again. Ricardino is fouled by Edgar Lugo. I have to imagine there have been at least 12 to 15 whistles already. And we haven't even played 10 minutes into the second half yet. Barahona had the night off against Isidro Metapan for Santa Tecla in the Primera Division. Tamakas. Rivera. This is one of the longest stretches we've gone without a whistle. Mayan. Towards the back post, Torres is there. Trying to knock it back across first time. Brought down by Ruiz, showing good strength. And a much better rhythm from both sides as it goes all the way back for Morera. Ricardino putting pressure on. Referee says play on. Ruiz knocking it forward. And look at Almeida doing his best Morera pressure. Ordain looking for an option. Granados. Substitute getting ready to come on for Santa Tecla. And it's going to be Herediano. Herediano replacing Enriquez here in the 57th minute. Torres flicks it along. Herediano getting his first involvement in the match. Slides it along. Tamakis squares it back across. It was almost an own goal. Inches away from being an utter disaster at the back for Herediano. But it will be a corner kick coming up for the home side. Brown gets a touch to it. Quinones dumps it back in, looking for Rivera. Falls for Torres. Torres sends it across, but it's offside. Wagging his finger no over at the assistant referee. Well, it's not Torres who's offside, but more so Rivera, who was involved with the play. Both players collide. Referee says fair play. Ruiz is down, and another player for Herediano is down. As Hector Martinez continues to have a very busy second half, our head referee. Now 15 minutes in. That's dangerous from both parties, to be completely honest. Torres going in with both legs. Studs up. Ruiz more of the same. Brown almost stumbled, able to get it away. Salazar just gets rid of it. And right now for Herediano on the road against the Santa Tecla side that looked dangerous in the first half. As of now, they're going through, and you can't really blame them for having a very conservative approach to the second half. All they have to do is see the game out for 45 minutes. They've already accomplished that for the first 15. Cut out by Herediano. Can Herediano go the other way? Ortiz. Barahona, really well done and knocked away. Excellent defending from Santa Tecla. And it's Edgar Lugo, the Mexican, taken down by Rivera. 24-year-old from Arce. Spent 3 seasons with Alianza. And is actually turning 25 years old a week from tomorrow. Past the hour mark here at Estadio Cuscatlán. And it's Herediano moving through. Santa Tecla got the first 2 goals. And then Herediano, after Yentric Ruiz subbed on in the 38th, scoring in the 41st by way of a corner kick. And that's all she wrote so far. Just your normal 3 goals and a half. Almost given away by Herediano. Torres, calming presence for Santa Tecla throughout these 61 minutes and 47 seconds. He's going 3 of the last 4 matches. Ricardino. Dain. Jerson Mayan. Closed down quickly by Cruz, who continues to hunt the ball. Quinones, not fazed by the pressure, still with it. Crowd here in San Salvador enjoying the possession. Torres slides it across, looking for Rivera, but can't quite get a touch to it. All needed was a little dink. And a foul going out the other way. Edgar Lugo again in the mix of it. Just 3 more matches to settle after this one in the round of 16. Portmore United and Santos, Real España and Tauro, and Araba Unido and Arnett Gardens as Ricardino trying to get around the defender, Kamer Brown, and that was Guerreño. To be fair, Arnett Gardens probably on their way out. Araba Unido probably through, with Araba Unido having a 3-goal lead. Heading back to Jamaica. And it'll be Randall Azofeifa coming on. And Edgar Lugo, the Mexican, coming off. Azofeifa, wily veteran, 33 years of age, from San Jose. Has made stops along in Turkey and Belgium. Actually came up through the Saprissa Youth Academy. And has a boatload of caps with the Costa Rica national team. He had 13 goals a year ago, 15 goals in the 2016-17 season, and still continues to get it done at the ripe old age of 33. Jacobo Moreno getting ready to come on. Ortiz knocks it across. Nobody home for Herediano. Herediano has Ofefa. Ordain couldn't quite get there. So it's Moreno on. And Ricardino off. Just about 25 minutes left in this one. As it stands, it's Herediano moving forward by the skin of their teeth. Junior Diaz continues to deal with the shifty Wilma Torres over on the far side, who's responsible for half of the Santa Tecla scoring. Ricardino responsible for the other half, just getting subbed off for Moreno. Barahona. Look how deep Jerson Mayan, the Los Angeles native, comes to receive the ball for the El Salvadoran club. Salazar comes over for the header, foul called against Santa Tecla. Santa Tecla is still looking for that same sort of magic that they found in the first half that saw 2 goals. Haven't been able to link up the pieces. Bit of a miscue at the back. Carreño was there to try to pick up the pieces. Moreno, excellent. Barahona. Foul called against Ordain. Hector Martinez sprinting onto the scene. Santa Tecla continue to be stifled by this Herediano defense, which seems a lot more focused here in the second half. Far cry from what we saw in the first half. Santa Tecla had acres to play with. And what was an electric first 45 minutes has turned into a rather slow second half here, as we've only played about 25. And a yellow card for Ordain. And another foul called. Santa Tecla pressing, knowing that they need a goal, trying to perhaps force Herediano into a mistake. Costa Rican side leads 2-2 on aggregate by way of away goals. Ordain again. Dangerous ball forward, Quinones. Make sure the danger is averted. Tamakis getting forward, trying to slide his way through. No call for the referee, claiming there was some simulation. Moreira cannot pick it up. Moreno. Another foul against Ordain, and I can't imagine what the complaint seems to be with Hector Martinez. It is a blatant foul every single time. But all tactical, I would have to imagine. Herediano feeling they had the advantage on set pieces, which they have shown on the offensive side. Defensively, there's another instance, pops out for Torres. His shot is blocked. Baires looking for Rodrigo Rivera, but only finding the byline. And a goal kick for Moreira. Moreno. He's been solid since coming on. Takes it over the top for Torres. Excellent first touch. Here's Torres. What a save for Moreira. Oh, the moment asks so much of Lionel Moreira, and he rises to the occasion. Almeida off of his line. Dangerous play. Ortiz trying to get there. Sliding challenge at the back, and eventually cleared away. And now things are starting to heat up. Herediano pokes it away. Ortiz has Ofefa. Collected by Almeida. Now it's Santa Tecla with room to play. Tamakis, good ball in, and Moreira. Look at him fly, look at him sky to be able to snatch it out of the air. Well, it only took about a half an hour for both sides to wake up since coming out of the dressing room. Another substitute getting ready to come on. And it's going to be Kevin Santamaria for Santa Tecla. And he will be replacing Baires, so very much an offensive substitution made by Christian Diaz. Baires, a holding center midfielder, sometimes center back, coming off here in the 75th minute, and they're looking for an offensive spark from Santamaria. He's in his second season with Santa Tecla. Played 1 year with the club back from 2012 to 2013. Then had a few year stint with Municipal. Guerreño, Salazar is there. Poor first touch from Moreira, but he cleans it up. Santa Tecla, all they need is one. Good ball forward, flag stays down, Morera again. This time it was Tamakis. Santa Tecla will not walk away from this saying they didn't have any chances to equalize or take the lead, because they most certainly have. The ball forward is excellent. The first touch is solid, but Junior Diaz and Salazar do an excellent job of closing it down. And listen to the crowd trying to spur their home side on. Much better from Santa Tecla. Good ball forward, Mayan around the first defender. Shot blocked in front. Barahona. Moreno shot blocked. Falling for Torres, trying to slide it across. Still with Santa Tecla. Salazar gets a touch to it. Moreno back into the mixer and cleared away. Tamakis. Wrong fits two defenders. Santa Maria. Moreno keeps it in play. Matched up with Herediano. Great move from Moreno. And forcing the challenge out of the Herediano back line. Buckle up, folks. It'll be a bumpy 13 minutes. Mayan wants it back. Quiñones. Rivera. Into the path of Moreno. Delivery takes a deflection. Rivera trying to keep it in play. Here's Herediano. And his touch running out, and Herediano and Christian Diaz. Well, Diaz isn't necessarily on the field to play, but getting into it with Herediano's Mexican star. You think advancing in this tournament doesn't mean anything to these two sides? Quiñones. Ball was intended for Torres. He's been the main man. Alan Cruz. Herediano. Ball lofted forward, Torres trying to get there, working around Diaz. And the foul against Torres, who drags down the big man with him and offers a helping hand. Little more than 10 minutes remaining. Herediano advancing on away goals at the moment, 2-2 on aggregate. Now to go the other way. We have floated in and out of spells like this, where we've seen a number of fouls and a lack of rhythm, but the last 5 or 10 minutes have been scintillating. And now Guerreño being accused of clipping Morera, and Morera making more out of it than maybe he should. Hector Martinez saying to the keeper that what's the matter? The theatrics continue. And it'll be a yellow card for Moreira, and he needs to be careful now. Quiñones gets a touch. One more substitute getting ready to come on for Herediano. Ordain fouled. And it'll be Ortiz coming off and Leonardo Gonzalez coming on. Solid work from Ortiz, who was just more responsible for putting pressure on the Santa Tecla back line. On the doorstep of the 83rd minute. Guerrero trying to find Torres on the opposite side. Torres ends up winning it. Lofted ball in, the header. Smothered by Moreira. It was Guerrero again. Well, he's been trying to sniff out that go-ahead goal since coming on as a substitute. Mayan. Jerson Mayan again, hoping for Moreno. It's Guerrero who claims it. Met by a good challenge from Salazar. It'll stay in play off the corner flag. Thumped away by Ruiz. He's the difference maker at the moment. Look at Almeida. Opportunity on the other end. Diaz's shot blocked by Torres as he was going for the spectacular. Herediano. Fouled by Rivera. Blatantly a foul from Rivera. Still felt the need to argue with Hector Martinez, our head referee from Honduras. '85th minute. Herediano in control on away goals, and now with a set piece. And easy work for Almeida. Guerrero trying to get it through for Mayan. Guerrero still comes away with it. Pass Brown, working on Ordain. Guerrero just trying to bulldoze his way through. And he's claiming that the ball went out of play over the byline. Should be a corner. It'll be a throw-in instead. Final 5 minutes. Barahona comes to nothing. Won by Barahona, Rivera. Good throw-in. Snuffed out by Salazar. Azofeifa gets it along for Junior Diaz. Great first touch, out of pressure. Herediano simply keeping it away from Santa Tecla. The green jerseys desperately trying to find a way to win the ball back. Brown, Ordain. Ruiz taken down, Santa Tecla win it back. Gerson Mayan. Along for Moreno, and Morera clears it away. Barahona. Moreno trying to get out of trouble. Last touch off of Moreno. And a throw in for Herediano. On the cusp of a quarterfinal berth. Barahona. Santa Tecla looking for one last push. Moreno. And it'll be a foul. Free kick for Santa Tecla right in the corner. The winner of this round of 16 will take on Universitario. Corner kick sent in. Oh, it was a great chance for Tamakis. He falls to his knees looking for an answer as to why it didn't find the back of the net. Rivera. Good turn in the middle of the park, great skill. But Brown breaking it up and a foul called against Herediano. It's brought back. And it's fair from the referee. Santa Maria had his jersey pulled. And a free kick for Santa Tecla. Herediano trying to stand their ground on El Salvadoran soil. Barahona, good delivery. And the header out of play. Moreira's already gotten one yellow card for time wasting or dissent. Whichever one you want to choose, either way. Needs to be careful here. Herediano. And a free kick for Herediano. And it's a yellow card for Tamakis. Herediano taking their time. The clock very much on their side and their friend. Still await the free kick. Not a bad effort. Sails wide. Almeida scrambling. 4 minutes to be added on at the minimum. It's do or die now for Santa Tecla. Quiñones now forward. Torres. Herediano come away with it. Ruiz. Santa Tecla exposed. Herediano goes back into the corner. Offside. Quiñones lets it run through. And Ordain just helps it along. Quiñones. Delivery towards the back post. Tamakis got a touch to it. He's had his chance. He's had a number of chances. And a yellow card issued to Junior Diaz for time wasting as well. And for Herediano, if they are to move on, these yellow cards could prove to be costly with accumulation. And then as a result, potentially missing an affair. But at the moment, they're just worried about getting through to the quarters. Barahona brings it down. Everybody forward now for Santa Tecla. Moreno. No call from the referee. And that might just do it. Ruiz taken down from behind. Herediano now. Herediano still with it. And a Santa Tecla throw-in, but we're into the 95th minute now. If there's anything left for Santa Tecla, it's in the next 20 seconds or so. Moreno, his delivery is blocked. Controlled by Herediano. And that's gonna do it. After falling behind, 2-1 on aggregate, Herediano find a goal in the form of Yendrick Ruiz in the 41st minute, and it proves to be the difference maker. Herediano off to the quarterfinals on away goals by a final score on aggregate of 2-2. Santa Tecla win the second leg. They win the battle, but Herediano wins the war. What a finish here in San Salvador. Yendrick Ruiz, the substitute hero, a super sub if you've ever seen one. And the Costa Rican side will take on Universitario of Panama in the quarterfinals in 2 weeks' time. For our outstanding crew and our producer Brian Sevilla, Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. The final score on aggregate, Herediano 2, Santa Tecla 2. It's Herediano moving on away goals.